Today's episode is brought to you by Raycon. Raycon has got some great earbuds right for you. Also, today we're brought to you by Factor. Factor has got those good meals delivered right to your door. Now let's jump into this podcast.
Hello, everybody, it's time for Kaizo and Crendor.
This is Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. In 4-hour recording studio audience. Recording.
Wake your ass up, it's up next Crendor in the morning.
Hello, everybody. Long exciting episode of Gax and Crendor in the morning.
I was drinking water.
I got you doing the water drink. You know what? I feel good about that. I'm not going to lie.
That's it's like when you're at a restaurant and the waiter waitress comes over, like, how is everything? You're like, bleh, bleh.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. I wanted to get you with the, like, you're eating, you're doing your thing, but also I'm here to ruin your day. Yeah.
Well, it's been ruined.
Well, I'm glad. Actually, I feel like it was ruined last night. I'm so glad I got to watch you fail miserably. I mean, succeed until you failed.
Yep. It was the closest I've been to the Kaizo Ironmon victory. Everything was coming up Millhouse, and then
but then just like Millhouse, you failed dramatically.
Yep. It was the one thing I couldn't run into was Shedinja. We ran into Shedinja. Not only was it just bad, because you're like, okay, well, as long as it hits me, I have Flame Body, it'll get burned. It had 0 contact moves, and it had 2 moves of like 30 to 40 PP. All right, and then it had Teeter Dance to confuse me to make me kill myself. Like, it was just like one of the worst Pokemon. And then the rival at the end, who I did end up getting to, had like 3 Pokemon with fighting moves that all would have probably killed me. It's just, this shit's cursed, dude.
It does seem like, not correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like there's something in the programming of this game that it is designed to the further you get. So let's be very clear. We're talking about Kaizo Ironmon. It's a Pokemon thing that Crendor's been trying to do for quite some time.
Years.
He there's like a Super Kaizo and a Subpar Kaizo and the normal one, which I think is what you were playing, just the normal one.
Yes.
And my man is like at 8,000 runs. He has not beaten it yet. Nope. It is maybe truly one of the funniest things to watch because it's just unfair. It just seems unfair. And it feels like that the further you get in the game, at least this is what it looks like watching you play, it feels like the game is designed to counter you. Like the further you get, the harder things get, to the point where, like last night, you ended up fighting an enemy you literally had no moves against, and you just had to wait out.
Right.
And let it use all of its abilities, which just took time and was the goofiest thing I've ever seen. And then immediately afterwards, you go up against the guy who has 3 hard counters for your Pokemon. And it just seemed unfair. And is like that the thing? Is that what happens? Is that why it's that way?
It's kind of just RNG to the max. Like, so if you don't know what Kaizo Ironmon is, for everybody that's still confused.
Please.
All right, there's Nuzlocks, right? People know what Nuzlocks are for the most part.
Do they? You might have to explain.
Well, okay, so this is Pokemon Fire Red with a randomizer. So that's Gen 1, 2, and 3 Pokemon. And in this challenge of Kaizo Ironmon, you are allowed 1 Pokemon. You have to beat the entire game with 1 Pokemon, which has random stats, random abilities. Everything's random except for the typing. And the BST, which is its base stat value, which is the amount of stat points it gets to spend in stats. So really good Pokemon are still good because of that, because you have more stat points to spend. So
the babies will never be good. I'll never have like a Togepi win, is what you're saying?
Never.
That's
then,
bullshit.
Togepi,
That's stupid. That's dumb.
All Pokemon are forced to evolve by level I think 50. Most are 30. So Pokemon that get traded and evolved automatically evolve at level 30. So if you're like, well, how do you trade that one? It just auto evolves. Pokemon learn random moves, but they learn based on what they actually learn. So like Raichu learns 0 moves, making it a bad Pokemon. But Snorlax learns like 13 moves, making it really good because you're probably going to get some moves that you need. And so, as you can imagine, it takes a long time to get a randomized Pokemon that is good. You're just like pulling the slot machine lever and hoping you hit. And then it gets worse. You're not allowed to heal outside of you're allowed to heal, but not in like gyms or caves or anything. So like if you go into a cave and you leave that cave, you can't go back in the cave. If you go into
when
the
you were
gym,
doing
you can't leave.
your final 4 boss rush last night, you could not heal on any of that except during combat.
Correct. You can't go back to the start and heal up. So it's a gauntlet. So you can use the heals you've acquired that you found as items. You're not allowed to buy heals. You can only buy Pokeballs and repels. All right. So all the items you acquire, all the items are random too. So like hidden items, normal items, whatever, are just from picking them up off the ground and hoping you're lucky. All right. So that's why everyone's always very strategic with their item management. It's why if you're at like level 60, you're like, I don't want to use my max potion here because I might need it if I get to the end game. And then you like really need it, right? So it's kind of like do I use it now? But maybe I don't use it now and I die. It's a lot of the statistical management when it gets to that point. So,
I mean, I watched you statistically manage.
Oh yeah, there's many people much better than me. Some people play it at like 1 mile an hour. I can't do that. But for this run, I did slow down, and I was doing well up until that point. And here's the thing. The entire run, we had not seen a Shedinja. And I was like, there's 7 Pokemon left. We have not seen a Shedinja this entire game. People are always like, he doesn't have Shedinja coverage. And I was like, guys, we have Flame Body. We're fine. And it was just the most cursed Shedinja to show up. And it had to be right at the end. Like, just the RNG that it had to go through for that was just unbelievable. And then, it's just, it is what it is. And then there's people like, why do you do this to yourself? Well, I don't know. It's just, I just like it. It's fun. I like RNG. I say it's like Pokemon gambling. However, I do make money while playing it instead of losing money. So that is nice while streaming. I've gotten to the Elite Four 6 times now. This was the furthest I've been.
Years, multiple years.
Yeah. Some of in the last year, it's mainly just been Super and Subpar Kaizo, which is even harder because in that challenge, because all the good Pokemon people like RX and all them, I Ate Your Pie, have beaten the challenge like numerous times. They beat normal Kaizo. I think RX might have only been once, but they're like, what if we made it harder? And you're only allowed to pick up certain items, not all the items, and you're not allowed to like fight as many trainers, and you have to pivot in the Safari Zone to a completely different Pokemon and hope it's good. So nobody's beaten it yet. People have actually gotten to the Elite Four. They've gotten close, but they haven't beaten it. That's the other thing that's important. You can't fight wild Pokemon. You can only fight trainers. So you get a predetermined amount of experience, essentially.
There was just like a ludicrous amount of rules is what I'm picking up here.
Once you get them all down, it's not bad. But it's definitely a lot to pick up at first.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know Pokemon, plus you have to know the rules. I mean, I even watched you at the end there when you were trying to figure out how to beat the Shedinja. Dude was like just toying with your time, and you were talking with chat about a flute. And you're like, what are the rules here? And chat's like, you can. And then some people were like, you can't. And it was very clear no one really knew. And so some guy, I think, had to go look it up, which says a lot about how many rules there actually are.
Yeah, they had to ask the official Ironmon Discord, and I guess they came to some conclusion that some other streamer came to like 8 months ago. It was crazy. Even RX was like, I have no idea. So it was, and really it boiled down to like, if I had 99 Pokeballs and Great Balls, whatever I bought, then I would have been able to keep my items. But even then, the final champion dude is like, had Pokemon with a bunch of fighting moves, which I was weak to. The big thing is the reason the end game's so hard is it is a gauntlet of like 5 trainers in a row, and then they get higher levels. So when you're fighting in the mid game or like mid to late game, you're usually like 20, 30, even 40 levels higher than Pokemon you're fighting. But once you get to here, they're like at your level, slightly below your level, or like the final dude you fight has like Pokemon your level or even slightly higher, like 95 is his last one. So that's what makes it really difficult.
Yeah, I saw that as you got to the final guy. He was actually pretty close to you. You were still ahead of him, but yeah, it definitely seemed like if he just had more powerful guys, he would die.
It is what it is. We tried so hard and got so far, and in the end, didn't even matter.
It really didn't. No.
So we go again. That's that.
I will say you had a lot of people watching at the end there. You were very close.
Yeah, well, once somebody's getting close to winning, it's kind of rare to get that far, so it becomes like a big spectacle, especially when you've never won before. So you're just like, oh boy, this could be it. And then, yep.
Well, at least everyone got to watch you suffer. And honestly, that's part of the fun.
That's what it's all about. Whenever somebody says, hey, are you allowed to go do this thing? I'm like, is it fun or helpful? Then probably not. That's usually my go-to, like, TLDR rule. Someone's like, can you heal in the Lavender Town Tower? I'm like, is it fun or helpful? And they're like, I guess. I'm like, yep, not allowed. Which it is not allowed to heal in those towers.
I think that's really funny that's the rule of thumb. It's like, would that be helpful to me? Nope, can't do it. Can't do it.
So yeah, that was great. That was your week.
I don't know what happened last night. I watched you play a little bit after I was done streaming, and then I decided to come home and make dinner. I made spaghetti. And it was great. It was delicious. There's this weird, like, hot, I don't even know how you would describe it. At the grocery store near me, there's like a hot spaghetti sauce. It's like spicy. Love it. But it's not your normal, like, chilies or whatever. I don't know what the hell's in it, but it's great. So I got that, and I got some sausages that I cut up and I put in the thing. And then, I just made spaghetti. Right. And I made enough that I had extras. So I was like, cleaning up, doing my thing, watching you play. And then when I was done, I was like, man, it's still kind of early. It might have been, again, like 10 p.m. So I was like, it's still kind of early, which a real person with a real job would be like, dude, go to bed. But I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just find something to do. So I started cleaning up around the apartment. Next thing I know, it is 1 a.m. But I'm not like 1 a.m. And again, this could be the clock moved forward or I don't know. But I just wasn't tired. And it's 1 a.m. And I'm like jacked. I got like that late night, I want to do stuff thing. So then I sit down and I start working on work stuff. I'm sitting here at my computer typing away a script, just like in the moment, just sitting here drinking the biggest water I've ever seen. I'm like, yeah, oh, that's a good idea. Amazing. Next thing I look, it is 3:30 a.m. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like, I got to go to bed. So I get into bed and I like pull out my phone because I'm going to listen to something on YouTube. I'm going to find like a game's done quick or something, right? In fact, what I settled on eventually, because I was in such a Pokemon mood, there's this French girl. I don't know her name. She does ASMR, but she does ASMR where she just reads Pokemon names in English and in French. And the French names I think I brought this up before. I love that video. They're so much more entertaining than the American names. When you hear the French names for Pokemon, you're like, that just makes more sense. That just makes so much more sense. And, like we have Beedrill, and the one they have for it is like it's like a pun based on the Three Musketeers, like a D'Artagnan pun. It's just there's so many good ones, and it makes me upset. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, listen to this. But that's what I settled on after being dumb enough to go to YouTube and immediately seeing the front page and getting algorithmed, and I clicked a video and then proceeded to watch an hour and a half like deep dive into the secret eldritch mysteries of Fallout. And I'm like, oh God. And so I watched I didn't actually go to bed till 6 a.m. I could not sleep. I just got by so many things. And then I woke up and I don't know, it was maybe like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And was like, oh, I feel so tired. What the hell? Oh, man, what am I doing? So I was like, well, I'll go back to bed. And then I just laid in bed and couldn't get back to sleep. So I got out, took a shower, and then was like, guess I'll make that leftover spaghetti. So that's what I did. And then I was like, I probably got to go to the office and, do the podcast with Crendor. And then, no, I just sat around my house after eating that spaghetti and did nothing and waited for you to call. I literally have done nothing of value today. I was like, I'll just wait around. When I say did nothing of value, I mean straight up, I didn't play a game or do any work or take any time to be a healthy boy or like go for a walk. I just sat on my couch and did nothing. Crendor, I didn't look at my phone. I just sat on my couch and let the sun hit me and was like, I was like a cat, dude. And I thought it was a few minutes. Dude, when I sat down on that couch, it was 3:30 p.m. You said, yo, let's work at 5:30. I was like, okay. I sat on that couch, and what felt like 5-10 minutes, I look at the clock, it's 5:27. I'm like, what? What the hell just happened? Time vanished. Is that how cats exist? Because that seems awesome.
It must be.
Dude, it was crazy. I did nothing of value.
I was curious. Funnily enough, I was like, oh yeah, he must be busy today. For some reason, I don't know. I saw you weren't on Discord, and I was like, oh man, he probably went out somewhere, he's doing something.
No, I just had nothing on. No computers were on. I just went and sat on my couch. And the TV, I didn't turn the TV on. I didn't do it. I just sat on the couch, and I was gonna look at Reddit on my phone, and I pulled out my phone, and then the sun hit me in the right way, and I was like, oh, that feels so good. And I just sat there.
Huh.
I know. I'm aware. It's as crazy as it sounds. It's like when you watch those videos of those guys who just look at the plane's information screen on a like an 8-hour trip, and they're like, dude, I'm raw dogging this flight. That was me, but with life for 2 hours. It was crazy. I was like, what is happening to me?
Did you have a stressful week or something? Were you just worn out?
No. I mean, obviously I was worn out because I had a terrible night of sleep, but like,
right.
This week was fine. Everything was chill. I got everything done I wanted to get done. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I'm constantly one of those people who thinks I could do better, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm always a little bit like, I could do that better. I could make that better. But it doesn't mean I did anything bad or wrong, that I had a bad week. I just am, that person. So I don't ever consider that to be part of a good or bad week. Yeah. I just had a great week. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I think maybe that's where I belong, truthfully.
Huh.
Just like a cat laying in the sun. What I need is like a mommy to take, you know what I mean? Like some rich older woman to take care of me, and then I'll be her little boy toy. But then when she's gone at work doing whatever, I'll just lay in the sun. That's what I need.
I feel like this is something you realize every couple of months, maybe even weeks.
Yeah. I mean, that's my goal. If I could get, like, the perfect marriage for me is I'm the kept man. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want. I want her to be like, she comes home from work, I'm wearing short shorts, she slaps my butt, and she's like, all right, good looking. Did you make dinner? I'm like, I sure did, baby. For some reason, I talk like that. Like, I sure did, yeah. Baby. Right? And then she's like, this was delicious. I'm like, nah, anything for you, boo. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that is something. What else did you do this week?
I tried to give Civ 7 another chance. I just can't. I realized that it 100% is not how, like, before I was saying, I don't think it's how I'd like to play Civ. I don't think it's the kind of gameplay I want. It's confirmed now. I went back in and I tried to play 2 separate games. The first game I played as Ada Lovelace with, I think, the Inca, because they had really great early starting units so I could protect myself. My whole goal was to be scientific and cultural and make a bunch of money and just beat everyone that way, right? That was my plan originally, because everyone's like, dude, Ada Lovelace is so good. I was like, all right, So I go in, I make this great starting build thing. Everything's good, but I'm surrounded by the most aggro people on earth. To the south of me, Harriet Tubman once again is back, and she is straight up constantly stealing my tech. Like, constantly. So any technical advantage I have over anyone, she is just stealing all the time. And then she's distributing it to all the other factions that she's allied with. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then we had, I don't remember who the other faction was, but she was just expanding in ways that make no sense. And it pisses me off because in that game, in the other civs, the further away you build a settlement from your main settlement or others of yours, the less support they have for you, the less happiness, and eventually they may rebel. Well, in this game, that doesn't exist. And so they're building all over the map. So any plans I have don't matter because they're on one side of the map and the other side of the map. And it's like, how's that possible? Doesn't matter. The game doesn't care. So at a certain point, I suddenly come under attack from everyone. And I'm like, all right, well, if I can just manage to make it through this crisis and get into the next age, I should be fine because I have such a technological advantage. It doesn't matter how many units they throw at me, I'll be good. Make it to the next age. And in the next age, the whatever that is, classical age or whatever, the age of exploration. In the age of exploration, the game loads up. We just came out of a crisis, and 2 of my cities have changed factions.
What?
Yep. Somehow, I guess maybe they weren't happy. I don't know. Everyone seemed fine. I thought everyone was going through the same crises as I was. Doesn't matter. My most northern city joined Catherine the Great. My most southern city joined with, I think it was Harriet Tubman. And I was like, what? I had no control over it. It just happened. At some point, the game said those belong to them now.
Huh.
I was so mad. I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm going to restart. I'm going to go full war from the get-go. Full war. So I picked, I think her name's Trung Trak. She's the dragon of the South. And her whole thing is she's just like a rebel leader, and she is really good at military. And then I picked an expansionist militaristic faction, and it was like, all right, let's go. And I started pumping out soldiers, and I was taking over lands. I was expanding rapidly. I was like, this is how you play. This is how they want us to play. This is how I'm going to play. I'm going to kill everyone. And every time I met someone, I was like, you're dead. Like, Ahsoka, you're dead. Right? Just like immediately declaring war on everyone. Just the entire time I'm at war. My entire government is war-based. My people love war. Everything is war. I'm like, we're going to destroy everyone. And so I'm dominating the age of antiquity. We're just like, everyone's getting wrecked. My technology is very, very high, so I just have better units. I have elephant riders at like level 3. I've destroyed every single independent city. None existed. I am bombarding all the I'm like, great, this is amazing. Time, of course, runs out. We go to the next age of exploration. Little did I know that the game, like all civs, lets the PCs cheat. So they just produce units cause. I don't think there's any factor that says why they produce units or allows them to do it. The money doesn't matter. The happiness doesn't matter. The ability to they just make units constantly. It's been a thing Civ games have done forever. I've always hated it, but at least in past Civ games, you could science them. So they may have 1,000 horse riders, but you've got a giant nuclear robot. So like, what the hell do you care? The difference here is everyone's even again. So because I'm constantly at war, when we get to the next age, everyone hates me. So the minute I make any move, they immediately declare war. I'm like, all right, let's go. So I'm at war with Frederick. I take one of his cities. I'm like, this is great. I just have to hold this city. And he sends wave after wave after wave of horse riders. Horse riders who I know take 5 turns to build. Yet he is producing them at a rate of about 5 or 6 per turn. I don't know how that's possible. And he keeps sending them. So he's just war of attritioning me. He takes 2 cities and he keeps sending. I'm like, I hate this game. I can't. absolutely was done. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I just can't do this. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I'll have to, like, I want to try and find the right way to do it. I want to succeed at this game. I want to figure out what the ratio of settlement to cities should be. Oh, there's clearly an optimal way to play that I'm not playing. But every time I play, the game is like, to wall! And then they just attack me. There's nothing I can do. It's crazy. And they don't fear me. In the previous games, they'd be like, damn, you've got a very strong military. We won't attack you. And this one, they're like, you little bitch, we're coming. I'm like, what? Why?
Maybe
it doesn't matter. It drives me crazy, dude. I had every time I had a strong military. Every time. And they just did not care. They were like, send the millions of men to die. And they died. I killed a lot of them, but they just keep sending them. And so it eventually becomes you just building military stuff all the time.
Yeah, that does kind of become that, but that's kind of what my strategy ended up being, which is probably why it worked.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I tried to do it. And I was like, oh, okay, I get this. If this is what the game's supposed to be. And in the Age of Antiquity, I felt like I was a badass. Like I was really doing it. I was winning the game. And then I hit the Age of Exploration and the game was like, no, don't take the time to build a temple or build anything that will help your people. Or spread religion, which is what I was trying to do. They were like, no. You have to build soldiers because the enemy will not stop. And they were like, we'll declare peace with you after we've taken 2 of your cities. I was like, no, what? Why would I do that? And then, they just kept coming. And I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna go play Dynasty Warriors. And so I did. It was great. And I had so much fun.
I don't know what you're doing then. Because, like, every time I play, I never have any issues against the AI when I'm just, like, attacking. So maybe you're just not attacking enough.
Oh, for sure I'm doing something wrong. Like, I don't think it's entirely the game's fault. What I know, though, is the game is designed in a way that is not how I have ever played Civ.
Yeah.
And I've played 6 games of Civ, so the fact that this one's so drastically different to me mentally, I'm just not clocked in on what I need to be doing, and it's just driving me crazy. I really genuinely do not enjoy, and it kind of has the League of Legends vibe, where like I just want to win, and I simply can't, and it's angering me, and I don't want to play, but at the same time I keep going back because I want the win.
You should try Mongolia.
I mean, I do like the idea of Mongolia and the horsemen and expansionism and stuff, but part of my strategy now is I want to get to the second age and just spam ships, like do what it wants. Like the whole idea of that age is you're supposed to branch out rapidly. And I just want to do what it says to do. But I don't know, man. I'm just not good at it.
You can do this Mongolia. You spam horse archers, and then you expand. That's all I did.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll give Mongolia a shot. I'll try it.
Yeah, just try Mongolia. I think that's probably my favorite one because horse archers, you can just shoot people from afar. They're strong. They got good mobility, and then you're as good at expanding. Like,
Can I beat Chung Trak or whatever her name is? Because 1, she's awesome, and 2, for some reason, very attractive. I don't know why that is. I look at her in game and I'm like, am I attracted to this video game rebellion character? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. And we'll see. We'll see if I enjoy anymore. But yeah, every time I play, I end up tapping out at some point during the Age of Exploration. I've never seen the modern age.
Honestly, when I got to the modern age, the one time I made it, I never fought anybody and never got attacked, so I was too powerful, and then I just won.
Nice. I believe that. Yeah. I believe that.
So it's actually pretty boring.
That's the goal. That's what I want. I want that. But
yeah, it was kind of boring, but it is definitely your type of thing.
That's what I want to play, though. I want that boring future. I don't like dystopian hellscapes. I want a future where everyone's like, we're going to space. Let's go, friends. And everyone's like, yeah, high fives. Like, that's what I want.
Yeah, I mean, try Mongolia.
All right, I'll give it a shot. Yeah. I'll give Mongolia a shot and see if I can dominate the world.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe you'll like them and you'll be like, this is great. Or
boy, I love these Mongolians. They're cool.
Or Maybe at some point they'll add an expansion that adds more things that'll help you out.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, so what was your week?
I really didn't do that much, to be honest. I kind of just streamed, went to the gym. Pretty normal, boring week, actually. But I like that.
I mean, I get it.
I wrote down a thing where at breakfast, we sat by these two older people, and she was like, the price of eggs is disgusting. She was like a British woman.
Yeah, no, I got that from the accent.
And then he was like, hey, they're pretty pricey. I wrote that down because she said it was disgusting, so I thought that was funny.
I mean, that's no different than my parents. My mom and dad, oh my God, we went to a farmer's market on Saturday. And yeah, my mom she was talking about the price of eggs. She's like, oh, eggs, it's so expensive. Downtown, they're selling eggs like they sell single cigarettes. I was like, hold on. There's just dudes downtown like, hey, man, I got one egg for you.
You want that egg?
You want that egg? And yeah, the worst part was my only response was, yeah, times are tough. Yep.
It is.
Yep.
I didn't realize that people were eating so many eggs, but I guess it makes sense. Like, a lot of things have eggs in them.
Plus, there was a point where they were cheap. And you could actually, eggs were the thing you would eat because it's protein. And you could do that.
Yeah. It's, well, I guess that's the problem when there's a thing killing off birds that lay the eggs.
Yeah. Obviously, the price of eggs is high. That's a thing we've been talking about for so long. They have not come down. And then plus adding bird flu and things, it makes it way worse. So on the news, when they were like, really, Americans should start to look into maybe like having chickens for themselves. And first off, that's an insane thing to say to most people. But second off, if there's a bird flu just killing chickens, how does having a chicken help you keep eggs? Like, there's no way that makes sense. But, whatever. It's just people on TV talking who really don't know a damn thing, which is crazy to me. I'm convinced the people who talk on TV know exactly as much as you and I do, except they have a platform on TV so people think they know more.
Oh, 100%. That's absolutely true. That is 100% true. Like, the vast majority, at least. Or a lot of times they just create hypothetical situations and then try to answer those hypothetical situations they've created.
The whole idea is a bunch of people get together, sit around, and talk about things that haven't happened yet as if they know what will happen.
Yeah. They do that in sports a lot. They'll be like, what would happen if this player went to this thing? They'll be like, well, let me tell you what would happen. And it's like, number one, they haven't gone there. Number two, you don't know what would happen.
Yeah.
But they do that constantly because it just creates stuff to talk about when there's nothing to talk about.
I mean, it's the same thing as when you go on TikTok, for example. There's some TikTok app thing. I don't know, man. That's not my zone. But it's one of those things where it's like a filter. And you put it on, and when you film yourself, it does like, these are the heroes that will protect you, and these are the ones that will attack you. And so it's just like dudes talking about which Marvel heroes are the best to defend against other. And it's like, all right, you're just making content. Like, I get it. And there's no difference in my mind to what you were just talking about in that.
Yeah. No, it's all the same. Because, I mean, it works. It is a method that works. And so they just put it into, like, every category.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it in video games. You could be like, what if this video game added this feature from this game? It's like, they haven't, but let's talk about what would happen if they did, right? Like, you're just creating stuff just to talk about it to generate views.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing about, FromSoft games being very hard and people being like, what about a difficulty toggle? And then everyone gets all worked up and they start having conversations about it. But really, truly, that's just not a thing. None of the games have a difficulty toggle. So why are we talking about it? Like, what if they did? They just don't. And that's a design choice. So why are we going to, like, there are a million other games to play. You don't have to play that one. And I always think it's funny because, like, but what if they did? It's like, what if they did? Okay, and they didn't do that. It's not something that will ever happen. So we're just getting worked up for no reason.
Yeah. It's but it works.
It does. It gets views. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, it sucks. It sucks indeed.
Yeah. It feels like that's the across the board how I feel lately. Everything kind of sucks to the point where I don't want to interact with social media at all because I'm just over it. I don't want to interact with TV shows. Just in general, most TV sucks. It genuinely sucks. I really am spending a lot more time playing comfort video games and reading books, like almost an adult. It feels like I'm almost there. And then I am doing things like taking care of my apartment like an adult, which is doing laundry instead of letting laundry pile up in the hamper, like actually doing things instead of just scrolling on my phone. And it feels great, unless it's today, in which case I did nothing.
Yeah. I've been trying to avoid social media stuff as well, but I feel like everybody's trying to do that. There's nobody I don't think I've ever heard somebody go like, man, you know what I'm trying to do? Look at social media more. It's really great going on there.
Oh, absolutely. I think the thing is that our jobs require us to. We have to maintain a presence. Like, it's absolutely backwards that a lot of companies will work with you depending on how many followers you have on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or whatever.
Right.
And it's about your interactivity with them. That's why you see a lot of people post stuff online to get engagement so they can go to brands and say, look how many people interact with me when I post online. Mm-hmm. Like, that's really why a lot of it. And I just have stopped doing that to the point where I don't think I care anymore. And if it hurts me, it hurts me. Like, I just don't care. And now I'm, just as an example, on Twitter, to give you an idea, usually I would post, sometimes I would post, I don't know, 2-3 times a day, different things. Today I reposted a thing from a game I'm working on. Then the post after that was 2 days ago. The post after that was 4 days ago. And the post, I had 2 posts that day from 4 days ago. The one after that was literally last Monday. And the one after that was on the 1st of March. Like, genuinely not, I'm purposefully avoiding it. Because every time I go on there, I get upset about something. And I want to just fight with, like, I saw a thing about a mod that people made that makes people in Steam games look better and look sexier.
Right.
And I just wanted to yell because the guy who posted this is the future we need, this is what modding community is about, is also the guy who said, do not change Elden Ring, it should be difficult. And I was like, the hypocrisy. I was about to be so mad. Like, so you're saying shout out to modders for changing the way the game is, but also don't change the way this game is. And I just wanted to go off. And I was like, no, I just don't. If I do, it's not going to be, hey, everyone supports Jesse. It's going to be the people that support me are going to like what I did. And then all this dude's followers are going to come attack me. And I'm going to have to deal with looking at that for a day and a half. And I was like, nah, I just don't care anymore. Like, screw it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's especially when we've been doing it as long as we have. It's just like, you just don't care. It's like when we talk about when the old people are just like, why is that old person doing that? It's like, I think they just don't care. Like,
yeah, I mean, and honestly, it's because of I don't want to say trial and error, but it's experience. When I do care about something passionately, the amount of just grief I get for expressing that is, you know what? I'll care about in private. I don't need to share it with the world. If I think that guy's a hypocrite, I know he's a hypocrite. I don't need to make a giant tweet about it. I'm just going to believe it and know it and move on with my life, because I sure as hell don't have the patience to deal with all the, and I'm going to say it, truly dumb people that exist on social media. There's just a lot of them. We sometimes forget social media is for everyone. even the stupidest, dumbest people that ever lived with zero media literacy. And you know what? I don't want to talk with them. I don't do it in real life, and I sure as hell am not going to do it online.
And there's also bots there now. Lots of bots.
You know what? I'm fine with the bots. The bots have become very respectful. The bots used to be like, check out my hot boobs. And now the boobs are in the picture and of the avatar, and the bots are like, you are one of the best streamers that ever was. We think you're, you know what? Honestly, love that. I don't care.
That's true. I have had a lot of those recently where it's like, the comments are just like, I really enjoyed the creative effort and inspiration you put in this video. And I'm like, wow, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're always the first. They always get the first slot.
Yep.
They're always there to cheer me on. I'm going to go to my YouTube page right now and just, most of the comments, I realize what they're about. It's not about Monster Hunter. Most of the comments are about the fact that I said that I think a 5 out of 10 is a middle game. It's like an average game. And we need to change video game reviews because they're out of whack, which is not a hot button issue. I just think when people get upset that a game gets a 7 or 8 out of 10, then it ruins the whole point of having a 10-point grading scale. So why the hell are we like, it's not new. It's not a new thought I had. It's just I was reaffirming what I believe, and people are like, oh, I think you're wrong. Okay.
I mean, I get it. It's like, it's kind of like if you say something's amazing, you give it 10 out of 10, but then you give something else that's kind of whatever, 10 out of 10. It's like, you kind of lose, I don't know, you lose the value of the scale. It's like you need, just because something's a 7 doesn't mean it's bad, right? Like it's still, if it's a 7, it's still probably pretty solid. At least that's what I think.
Yeah, no, a 7 is a good game. An 8 is a better than good game. Like a 10 is perfect, like a perfect flawless game. There shouldn't really be a lot of 10s, to be honest. And it's weird to me that a 5 is a 7, really. When really a 5 should be, this game is average, it's fun, it's got problems, but it's fun. And there's a lot of games that I love that I would consider 5s. But saying something, it just makes me crazy. And I feel like it's a little bit IGN for the 8 out of 10s. It's a little bit the fact that American education system is like, a 50% is an F. When really 50 is half. So, you know, like it's that kind of vibe where people are like, 50 is shit. And it drives me crazy. And I was just explaining that, and then a lot of people are like, you're trash. I think you suck. However, shout out to this one guy I just read who said that, man, I'm so happy for this podcast. They really got that skibbity riz for the retirement home age of us from the co-optional podcast times. And honestly, that's what I need to hear. That's the comments I want. I want to be called a skibbity rizzler is what I want.
Honestly, I feel like you need to be skibbity riz unk.
Riz unk? You know what? Being unk, I'm fine with that. I feel like I'm not cool enough. You know what I mean? I feel like being called unk, you gotta be cool. I might be a funkle, you know? Like that's like a fun uncle, not necessarily cool, but it's fun guy. Unk, that guy's cool. Unk shows up to the party late. He brings a 6-pack and he's like, hey, what's up, dudes? He's got like a different girl with him every time. And I was like, oh, damn, Unk playing games again. Like, that's a different vibe. I don't have that.
Yeah, people do tend to like the Unks. They're like the cool old people.
Yeah, I'm definitely a funkle. I'm like, let's get ice cream, kids. Like, that's me. I'm like, y'all want to go see the new movie?
The new movie, yep.
Yeah, you know, the new movie. I didn't want to say what movie in particular because I don't know what movies are out right now. But, you know.
Yeah, the new movie.
The new movie.
Well, you know what is out right now?
Oh,
look at that.
March is out right now, which is the whole thing. Somehow, here we are. It's, oh my God, it's almost the 10th of March. Somehow we got here. So if you're a sports fan, you know that means, at least here in the States, madness. And if you're a fan of the outdoors, it's the start of spring. And if you love sitting inside and watching TV or working out at the gym or whatever it is you're doing, all of these are made better with Raycon Everyday Earbuds. With active noise cancellation that drown out all the sounds you don't want to hear, they're perfect for quieting a loud room or just hearing a phone call better. On a plane, man, They are nice. It's just nice to sit in silence and let the world be around you. I put those things in, turn on some music, usually some sort of like a 80s city pop. It's great plane takeoff music. It really hits a vibe. And then plus you got the vibrations of the engine on the plane. It knocks me out. Makes me go to sleep so easily. With 32 hours of battery life and multi-point connectivity that lets you pair with 2 devices at once. If you're curious about charging, man, it is something like for every 10 minutes you charge, you get 90 minutes of battery life. It's pretty impressive. And the best part is it costs less and has more color options than similar premium audio brands. If you don't like your Raycons, they will offer you a 30-day happiness guarantee return policy. No questions asked. So all you gotta do is go to raycon.com/Cox, C-O-X, get 20% off the best-selling everyday earbuds brought to you by Raycon. By raycon.com/Cox. Also today we're brought to you by Factor. Are you ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Actually, maybe just take control of your eating habits? Well, it can be a bit easier with chef-made gourmet meals from Factor. They're dietitian approved, ready to eat in just 2 minutes. It'll fuel you up and keep you going on the quick. Because, if you're like me, you're busy. And it doesn't matter what kind of busy you're busy with. Be it laying on a couch doing nothing busy, or work, or hanging out with friends, or playing video games, or just sleeping. You got other things to do in your life, and you don't want to have to spend your time making a delicious dinner from scratch. Well, Factor arrives fully prepared and with 40 options to choose from each week in 8 dietary preferences. It's easy to pick up meals to help you meet your goals. If it's just being healthy or you want to drop some poundage, they've got keto, calorie smart, protein plus options. We've met many people out in the wild at our shows doing various things who have been eating Factor and loving it and losing weight. And if you need more than just the meals, if you want something during the day, you want a little extra, they've got smoothies, they've got side dishes, they have desserts and breakfasts. I love the smoothies. They had a horchata one. Oh my God, it was so good. This week, I was munching on a potato leek mash and grilled chicken with roasted corn and zucchini. I also had a shrimp scampi with steamed broccoli. So simple, yet so good. If you want to eat smart, do it with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcasts and use code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code FACTORPODCAST at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Let's go to chapter guys. Check out there.
No, let me check. Oh yeah, look at that. The traffic's moving. What do you know? I guess, some people think of traffic as like, oh, everything's backed up. But, I mean, traffic's just cars on the road, right? It's just cars moving around, trying to get places. A traffic jam would be when things aren't moving. So, as of right now, nothing's jammed. It's all normal traffic. Hey, dude.
I feel like somewhere along the lines, traffic became sort of your philosophical discussions about life and what it means to drive. Like, there's just, you're like, what is a jam, really?
What is a drive? A jam?
Yeah.
A traffic.
I will say this past week it rained in LA. And so driving around, what a mess. Just truly awful. I watched someone in like a very small, I was trying to think of the name of the car, but I just don't remember it. Like a very small car next to one of those Waymos, the self-automated cars. The self-automated car was driving about 100 times better. This person in their small car was hitting the brake, like freaking out, wiping their windshield because they clearly just didn't have their defogger or whatever. They were a mess, and I was behind them like, I'm gonna die here, aren't I? These people are gonna slam on the brakes. Meanwhile, the robot car's like, rain is fine, I am good. Couldn't believe it. I was like, how's that safer? I would think the thing that relies on cameras getting sprayed with rain would be a problem, but no, totally fine.
There are some people that are actually I can't stand the people when they brake like 80 times in 2 seconds. There's like eat.
I couldn't figure out what it was. The thing is that this city, because there's also just not a lot of rain. When it does rain, the streets get very slick, and the concrete will just tear up quickly. Like if there's any cracks or whatever, it dries out so much that when it starts to rain and people hit it, potholes form rapidly when it rains. And so I was trying to avoid potholes, avoid drivers who don't know what they're doing, and still getting stuck behind this person in their tiny baby car as they straight up were just like, like trying to figure out what to do, wiping their. Boy, it truly makes me regret wanting to live in a city where driving's the key and so few people actually know how to drive.
That's not good. Like
it is not.
It's kind of like when it snows in the south and then everything falls apart. It's kind of
same
like
vibe.
If literally anything happens in LA, it falls apart.
Except earthquakes. They
Earthquakes,
phase no one. This morning, maybe it was last night, my room started shaking and I was just laying there and I was like, if the room's a shaking, the earth's a quaking. And I just thought it was really funny. And I'm so stupid. I did that to myself. I made a joke to myself and laughed.
That's, I mean, sometimes you got to make yourself laugh.
That's all I do anymore. That's all I do. I'm very good at amusing only me. Most people, they're like, this guy's weird. Me, I enjoy amusing myself.
That's the traffic.
All right, let's go to weather.
Ooh, weather. We've got requests for the weather. Weather request for San Sebastian Donostia, Spain. The most beautiful city in the whole of Spain and allegedly founded by pirates.
What now? Allegedly founded by pirates? What does that mean? I might actually have to go to the wiki on this.
Yeah, it's allegedly founded by pirates. They said.
Okay.
Let's see. San Sebastian, Spain. Or is it Sebastian? Donostia, Spain. 55 degrees. Feels like 53. Humidity 60%. Pressure 29.48 inches. Visibility 7 miles. 7:28 a.m. sunrise. 7:08 p.m. sunset. Winds at 9 miles an hour. Dew point 41. UV 0. Moon phase waxing gibbous. 10 day. 65 on Monday. Mostly sunny. Tuesday 57 with AM rain. Showers on Wednesday. Thursday, more showers, 54. Friday, AM showers, 54. Saturday, 53 with showers. Sunday, 53 with showers. And Monday, 58 with showers. A lot of 50s and rain over there.
Geographically, it is right almost in France.
Oh, yeah.
It is right near
Does
Bordeaux.
look like a pirate town.
It does. It definitely has that port, Royale vibe to it because it has a straight up just port in the middle of it. Either way, I went to the wiki to figure out what this place's history was, and it's much older than I thought. I guess everything in Europe really is, but apparently, in prehistoric times, it was the settlement of Zangana. Sure. But apparently 22,000 BC they found stuff from. And then there were Roman settlements in 50 and 200 AD. And then in the Middle Ages, there were no written records about what was there until 1014. When suddenly they started talking about apple orchards that were used for ciders. I'm trying to find pirates. I know that during the 1400s, it's, where boats were. They definitely had like fleets and stuff there. I just don't know. It's cool though. This place is gorgeous.
Yeah, it really is.
But I would imagine most places, I really want to go to Spain. I feel like most places in Spain seem pretty gorgeous.
Especially when they're on the water, I'd say. It does have some cool places though. I found the Ogi Berry.
The Ogi Berry? Not the Oogie Berry?
OGI Berry.
I wonder if that's called Ogi Berry. You know what I mean?
It's probably
or
not.
If it's like Ogi.
It's
Ogi
probably like
Berry.
Ogi Berry. Yeah, I like Ogi Berry. He's kind of like Yogi Bear.
I mean, shout out to like looking at a bodega that's just serving like delicious meats. Also, shout out to Bar Sport.
Dude, hell yeah, Bar Sport.
Wait, Bar Sport isn't a sports bar.
What?
Bar Sport literally looks like a real ass delicious restaurant where they serve everything to you from the bar. Like you go up to the counter and you eat at the counter and everything's... I thought this Bar Sport was just a funny play on sports bar. But it's literally like some of the most delicious looking food.
Oh my God, yeah, you're right.
But just served at the bar. I love that. That's a fun concept.
That is really cool.
You get in, you eat your food, you stand at the bar, yum yum, and then you move on.
Yeah. No, that actually looks really cool. Yeah.
I can't believe I was about to be like, they got a place called Bar Sport. It's a sports bar. Not even remotely.
Yeah, wow. You're just like, hey, a goofy sport bar, but it's actually a legit thing.
That's in fact, I'm looking at the restaurants in the area. They have a lot of bar restaurants that are just you walk up to a counter. Crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize that was a thing.
Maybe like culturally, maybe that's why, because you know the whole like siesta situation, right? So maybe because they eat at different hours or the way they eat and what they prefer, like, you know, it changes how you eat. I don't know. Fascinating.
Yeah. Well, that's the weather.
Damn, even the coffee place is a counter with like 3 seats. Maybe because everyone sits outside is the vibe. Never mind.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that explains everything. Okay, sorry, and that's the weather.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to sports.
Sports. Oh boy, we got sports.
You said that with the conviction of a man who was like, sports.
This looks like Buffalo Bills reach record deal with Josh Allen because they definitely need him. The Steelers are trading for DK Metcalf from the Seahawks. That's pretty big.
I mean, they could use any help they can get, to be honest. So.
Yep, they definitely could.
Yep.
The NBA standings, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers in first still. Don't think anyone's catching them. And you got the Thunder also in first. Don't think anyone's catching them either. Almost to the playoffs. Playoffs. NHL standings, we've got the... Hold on here. Conference... Washington Capitals, the Panthers, and the Hurricanes up top. And then we got the Winnipeg Jets, Dallas Stars, and the Vegas Golden Knights up top. They're also getting close to the playoffs. And spring training, still going in baseball. It's in full force now. That's sports.
All right. What is going on with our fact of the day?
Fact of the day. Day. Oh, that's kind of relatable. Spanish national anthem has no words.
Really?
The Marcha Real, that's probably not how you say it, is one of only 4 national anthems in the world, along with those of Bosnia, Herzegovina, Kosovo, and San Marino, that have no official lyrics.
I just want to say to everyone in those places, we await your pronunciation correction. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to hear it. What's weird about that is most national anthems, I don't think, start with lyrics. People add them later.
Really? I didn't know that.
Or they have lyrics they then like lyrics for something else, like a poem or something, they then put to music. Or they have the music and they put a poem to, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like someone would eventually just add lyrics. Like, is there a rule that they say don't add lyrics? Because I feel like people want to say, like, you know, they hear the song and they want to say something. You know, they want to be like, we love Spain. It's a good place. They have lots of food and it's served at a nice pace. You know, like that. Like, you know, someone better than me, clearly, but.
I mean, honestly, I tend to prefer music without lyrics a lot of the time, so I get it. Sometimes you just feel the rhythm.
Yeah, but what you prefer is like music that has like a beat and like right, and then it has like a drop. I'm gonna go on a limb and say the Spanish national anthem doesn't have that.
Yeah, that's I don't know. Maybe they would.
Says the Marcha Real is the national anthem of Spain. Oh yeah, no, and it definitely says it doesn't have lyrics. I'm looking at it right now. No official lyrics. Although many different lyrics have been made in the past. I was about to say, surely someone would have added lyrics.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
And yeah, the very first YouTube video is lyrics to the song.
And it says here that it was originally a military march, not a song. So that's why.
That's what it sounds like. It definitely sounds like a marching song.
Yeah.
And I guess La Marcha would make sense.
That really would.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Interesting. That was a good fact.
All right. Has anyone come to us with tears in their eyes?
Yep. We got, Dear Illustrious Sirs, I come before you with tears in my eyes and cellulite in my thighs and ask of thee, if either of you were to inherit the other's YouTube channel, what's the first video you would post and why?
I would continue the tradition. I wouldn't change anything. I think I would just get even more out there, and I'd be like top 10 door handles, top 10 patterns on tiles, top 10 colors of blue in the game. I get like real out there with it.
Yeah, you're going real out there. I mean, even the door handles is still something I'd probably do. So I mean, when you both the last one, you said the blue. That's
top 10 color blue.
Yeah, top 10 color blue. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's
that's yeah. Top 10 grass patterns, all the good ones.
Yeah, you just got to go the extra step. Instead of top 10 grass patterns. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Top 10 child haircuts in game. That's a good one. That's pretty good.
That's definitely one of them. I think I would just make the Skyrim Let's Play. And I know people would love it. People would be like, he's making it. And I'd be like, it is I, Crendor, to play it. And they'd be like, what? But it would happen.
I love that.
Yep. So there you go. Here we are. The next one is, Dear Illustrious Sirs, with tears in my eyes, I look upon you in stupefaction and ask, if you were wizards, what kind of wizards would you be, and what would your wizard towers be like? P.S. Fun fact, every odd number has an E in it.
You can't do both of those things. Now that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I was trying to wonder if you said power or tower.
Tower.
All right, so the question is, what kind of wizard would we be and what kind of tower would we have?
Yeah.
This is easy. I want to be literally like Saruman. I want to be an old white wizard with a long white beard and a white robe and a giant black tower, and I just have a bunch of orcs and I go, to war! That's what I want. That's all I want. I want that power.
And you just do that nonstop?
Yeah, I'd be like, Gandalf, the eye of Sauron is here. Like, yeah, that's what I want. I want to be that guy. Now, if I didn't have to have a tower and I could just be a wizard, I want to be like one of those cool secret street wizards. Like whatever the hell Nick Cage was supposed to be in The Wizard's Apprentice. Like, I want to be that. Where it's like I run an old shop with antiquities and things, and I have fireballs, but I also just hang out in the street and eat a falafel.
I like it. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I want.
I would be some sort of druid. I'd be like Radagast the Brown. I'd have a rabbit sled. I'd be
birds living in your hair. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd allow that, but I'd be a little bit of a cleaner Radagast the Brown. I'd be like Radagast the Green.
Sure. You're more about the plants than you are about birds pooping in your hair.
Yeah, and like squirrels run around. We'd definitely have those. We'd have like skunk guards that spray everybody to get close.
Skunk guards?
Yeah, skunk guards. Yeah, I mean,
I love that's the way you went, because you could have said I have like a wolf pack that guards me, or I have badger soldiers. You were like, no, I have skunks because they'll make you smell.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that. You're right.
And
yeah, you don't want to be stinky next to all your allies. They're gonna be like, oh, I can't fight, man. You stink.
Yeah. And I would have like a cool tower though, but it'd be like in a cave, like one of those inside the cave towers. That'd be kind of sick.
I like that. Like you have a fortress, but you have to go deep into a cave to see it, but then it's like massive.
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool.
Would it be kind of like that place in Elden Ring that looked like it was nighttime, but it was underground? Like whatever those lost cities were?
That would actually be kind of cool. I wasn't thinking of that.
Where it looked like there were
Cool.
stars, but then you had like a giant, fortress, but it's in a cave underground.
Yeah. I actually like that. Yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be awesome.
You know what? I'm here to help you make that happen.
Thank you very much.
Whenever you're ready to move into a cave underground, you let me know, man.
I will.
I'll put little glow-in-the-dark stickers on the roof of the cave for you.
Thank you. There we go. That's the Dear Illustrious cert.
All right. What is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. Day. Pokemon-shaped Cheeto sells at auction for $87,840.
It's so messed up that you don't even need to tell me what Pokemon it is. I already know it's a Charizard.
Yep.
I knew it. It always, every time anyone sells Pokemon for a lot of money, especially Cheeto shaped, so I know it's going to be red.
Yep.
Charizard. It's not going to be a Pikachu. It's not going to be, it's Charizard.
You are correct, because 60 people attempted to buy the Cheetozard, a Cheeto shaped like beloved Pokemon Charizard, selling for $87,840. The Golden Auction House listed the snack as sold on Sunday. Presented as a 3-inch long, flamin' hot Cheeto in the shape of a Pokemon Charizard affixed to a customized Pokemon card and encapsulated in a clear card storage box. The auction's description states, it was initially discovered and preserved sometime between 2018 and 2022. The Cheeto surged in popularity on social media, and
COVID was a hell of a time, man.
yeah.
Well, guys, I found a Cheeto. Let's make a Pokemon card out of it.
Well, and here it is.
It somehow actually looks very much like Charizard.
It actually does. Like, it is kind of weird.
I don't know why it says made in China on it, but
that must be on Pokemon cards or something. They just mimicked it.
I guess. I don't know.
There were 60 bids on the uniquely shaped snack. The winning bid was $72,000 plus a buyer's premium. That's insane.
That's the power of social media, man. That it's literally just a funny shaped Cheeto.
Yeah.
It looks like a flaming hot Cheeto. And I'm telling you, because social media picked it up and went with it, someone bought it because clout, I guess.
Yeah. If
That's
only
crazy.
we had found the Cheetozard.
Yeah, we need to virally make something of ours very popular so people buy it.
Yeah. And I'd like out of a Cheeto, though.
Yeah, like, we need the Cox and Crendor bathwater version. Something we can easily make that people will buy, and, everyone will have questions why you bought it, but it doesn't matter because we'll still have the money. That's what we need.
Yeah. I don't know
what that is, but, yeah, we got to figure it out.
I don't know either. The blanket that Jesse Cox laid on in the sun, wasting time.
That's, you know what? I still have that. I'm not going to give it up, though. That's my Aloy blanket.
Yeah,
can't give that up.
Can't give that up.
Can't give that up.
Man, this might be harder than...
Yeah, I don't think we have a thing. We need to discover it. And then, we could have used those mice that we found at the Myers, but...
That's true.
That was already a thing that someone else had. We were there because of someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
So we need to get there in advance. We need to go scope out stuff, find a thing, and then make that the popular thing that we can then sell to people.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Kind of.
It's like it's the workings of an idea. It's like a plan of an idea.
And one day that plan may turn into a thing that might be good.
Right. That plan will then become a plan of action.
Yeah.
Right? And then that plan of action we'll have to adjust course and we'll have to we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right. Well, that's it for us. Thanks so much for listening or watching. I'm enjoying this show. Crendor, hit him with the socials.
We got socials, youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast, all one word, or You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. We're all over the place. Also, youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast. Or wait, I said that already. youtube.com/Cox and Crendor is where all the animations are. You find those. You can listen to our stuff. I don't know. I threw myself off my normal outro.
It's all right.
Yeah, just youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast. Post your comments there if you want to get your weather or Illustrious Sir read off. And subscribe, hit the bell, listen wherever you want. You can also listen to our own things. YouTube Jesse Cox, YouTube Crendor, Twitch TV Jesse Cox, Twitch TV Crendor. Those are the main ones. Just go there.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you all next time. And as always, to be continued.